This video is about measures of position, deciles. Deciles divides the distribution into 10 parts. This means that we have D1, D2, D3 until D sub 10. In order for us to solve for the decile, we also follow a formula similar to that of the quartile. So the formula for the decile is equal to the lower boundary plus Kn over 10 minus CFP over F of D times I. So as you can see, the formula is really the same as the quartile. The only difference is the divisor of the locator is now 10. So let us review what is the meaning of the different elements of our formula. K is the decile that you are solving. XLB is the lower boundary of the decile class. Kn over 10 is the locator of the decile class. CFP is the cumulative frequency preceding the decile class. F sub D sub K is the frequency of the decile class, and I is the interval, or the number of scores in a certain class interval. Let us practice solving for deciles using the example. Let us find, in this example, the second decile, the fifth decile, and the ninth decile. So let's start by solving first the CF less than. Again, starting with the frequency of the lowest class interval, we copy the frequency and then we cumulatively add the different frequencies. So 3 plus 2, that gives us 5, plus 7 is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 3 is 23, plus 4 is 27, plus 2 is 29, plus 1 is 30. Now we're ready to solve using the formula for D sub 2 or decile 2. We have the formula lower boundary plus 2n over 10 minus CFP over F of D2 times I. Let's first solve for the locator so that we can find the decile 2 class. So we have 2 times 30 divided by 10, and this gives us 6. In the decile, in the table or the frequency distribution, looking at the CF less than, since the CF here is 12, you can see there 6. Therefore, this is the decile 2 class. Having known that, we can now solve for the lower boundary, which is the lower score of the D2 class minus 0.5, so that is 24.5. The CFP, which is the cumulative frequency preceding the decile class, that is 5. For the frequency of the decile 2, we have 7. And for the interval, we have 5, because there are 5 scores from 25 to 29. Let us substitute these values in our formula. So D2 is equal to 24.5 plus 6 minus 5 divided by 7 times 5. So again, In your calculators, make sure that when you solve this, you always start with solving first the one in the parentheses. So we have 6 minus 5, which is 1. Then we divide it by 7, press equal sign. Then the answer you multiply to 5, press the equal sign again, and then add 24.5. So when we do that, our answer is 25.21. Look at your answer. Can you find it here in the interval? Yes. So that means you are on the right track. Let us now solve for D5. Lower boundary plus 5n over 10 minus CFP all over f of D 5 times I. So we solve for 5n over 10. That is 5 times 30 divided by 10. And that would give us 15. Then we look for 15 in the cumulative frequency. And we can say that it is in this class. So therefore, this is our D5 class. Solving for the lower boundary, we have 29.5, that is 30 minus 0.5 because 30 is the lower score in the D5 class. CFP is now 12. F, the frequency of D5 is equal to 8. And I is still equal to 5. So substituting, we have D5 is equal to 29.5 plus 15 minus 12 divided by 8 times 5. Solving accordingly. So let's try first. Let's solve first, by the way, the one inside the parenthesis. So 15 minus 12 divided by 8 times 5 plus 29.5, we get 31.375, or if you round off, that's 31.38. Again, check. Is this part of the class, is this a score in the class D5 class? So we have 30 to 34 and our answer is 31.38. So yes. Now, can you try solving for D sub 9 or decile 9?